July 20th, 1969, the day when Neil Armstrong on board Apollo 11 created history for mankind by placing his foot on the moon. Well, apart from Apollo 11, over the years NASA has launched a variety of spacecrafts to the moon. Wait, I don't think we can be sure about that now, can we? Thanks to these numerous conspiracy theories that have surrounded these missions over the years, we now can't help but be a little bit doubtful ourselves. Hello there, Knowledge Tribe, I'm AQ, and let me take you through some of the most talked about conspiracy theories that claim that these leaps for mankind were nothing but a hoax. Now this has to be the most infamous conspiracy theory of all time. Why? Because it is the most noticeable aspect from the pictures taken on the moon, to the layman at least. The thing is, the USA flag appears to flutter in the wind. What's the problem with that? Well, this picture was not taken on Earth. It was taken on the moon, where there is no atmosphere or wind to create that flutter in the first place. So what was going on? Insiders revealed that the flag had to be stretched using metal wires that were inserted into its fabric. Now this was done because on the moon the flag would tend to hang. So for the flag to be seen in all its American glory, this was done. And in the bargain, they say that the flag was just positioned in such a way that it appeared to naturally flutter. Now what do you think is the truth? In a lot of pictures from the moon, it is evident that shadows of objects and even astronauts fall at multiple angles. Now what was the problem with that? Theorists say that this happened because man never went to the moon in the first place. Instead, it is suspected that astronauts chose to stage this entire thing on a film set. In fact, theorists have even gone as far as naming the filmmaker who might have helped NASA in staging this entire thing. And who was this filmmaker? Stanley Kubrick. Yes, that's the director of the 1968 sci-fi film 2001: A Space Odyssey. Now what's amusing is that theorists even came up with different ideas as to how this entire thing could have been staged on a film set. For example, astronauts could have been suspended from the ceiling using wires, and then footage of them bouncing towards the camera could have been played on slow motion just to create that effect of weightlessness that could be seen on the moon. Now if you're wondering why USA would do all this, theorists say that it was probably to show its superiority over Russia during the Cold War. On the other hand, those who back Apollo's missions argue that the uneven surface of the moon, thanks to its craters, is why the shadows appear in random directions in the first place. Will we ever get to the bottom of this? Just when we were speaking of craters, where were they? Now, our conspiracy theorists are very well aware of how dusty the moon's surface is. Surprisingly, they are also very well aware of how heavy lunar modules can be. Considering both these facts, we just wonder as to how, when lunar modules land on the moon, there is no crater that is created due to all that weight. Of course, many have tried to debunk this whole argument with science. They say that when the lunar modules landed on the moon, the dust might have just got blown off and hence there were no artificially created craters. Logical? Maybe. True? No one knows. Okay, now this one requires some background. For those of you who thought that all these weird and wonderful conspiracy theories were just conjured by a bunch of vain millennials, think again. In fact, there is a infamous name that is associated with all these theories, and that name is Bill Kaysing. Bill Kaysing was a technical writer with Rocketdyne, the company which made rocket engines for the Apollo program. Now back in the 1970s, Bill released a book named We Never Went to the Moon. In this book, he reveals how, in 1969, NASA lacked the technology and the funds to be able to fly humans to the moon and back. He even goes on to say that humans would have never been able to cross the high radiation Van Allen belt that surrounds the Earth without getting poisoned. Now, experts say that the Van Allen belt just collects all the radiation from the sun to protect the earth. So, all this radiation, they say, is not really that harmful. In fact, they say that it's just as strong as that from an X-ray. And considering that the Apollo spacecraft passed through the entire Van Allen belt in less than 4 hours, they say that it was not dangerous at all. Unless astronauts developed some superpowers that guarded them from all that radiation. Never, right? Okay, now this seems like one of those desperate conspiracy theories that people come up with just to make the limelight, just. Anyway, the theory is that Buggy, the rover, could have never ever fit into the tiny, cramped lunar module. Now, what these people don't know, that Buggy and many other rovers can be folded into an impressively compact form. Plus, they are built to be lightweight and to be carried into space. Okay, now this one is just a bonus. A theory is so absurd that it had to make it to this list. So the theory is that it is impossible for footprints to be seen on the moon because there is no moisture for the footprint to be formed. Now clearly, in what seems like these people's boring childhoods, they have never ever played with dry sand or flour. Everyone knows that if you place anything, your foot, your hand, on a surface that's covered with a dry powdery substance, it leaves an impression. Anyway, that's it, Knowledge Travels. Know of any other crazy, weird conspiracy theories about the moon landing? Let us know in the comment section below. Until next time, it's AQ saying bye.
Hello there, Knowledge Tribe. Enjoy what you just saw? Then do like and share. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more such fun videos. Till then,